This is Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Welcome to Pulse of Africa News. I'm your host, Nsai Gabiao. We highlight inspiring stories and important moments shaping the continent of Africa. We begin with Ethiopia's living heritage. Millions of Ethiopian Orthodox Christians gathered across Ethiopia today to celebrate Timkat, the Ethiopian Orthodox Epiphany that commemorates the baptism of Jesus Christ in the River Jordan. The three-day religious festival, one of the country's most significant public events, has been observed with vibrant spiritual and cultural ceremonies in the cities and towns nationwide. Major celebrations took place in Addis Ababa, particularly at Jan Meda, and in the historic city of Gondar, widely regarded as the spiritual center of Timkat observances. Timkat, meaning Epiphany in Amharic, is marked by unique rituals that distinguish Ethiopian Orthodox traditions from Epiphany celebrations elsewhere in the Christian world. The outdoor observance is renowned for its elaborate precisions, sacred music, and deep-rooted symbolism. The festival begins on the eve of Timkat, which falls on January 19 in a leap year. On the first day, churches ceremonially carry tabots, replicas of the Ark of the Covenant, to nearby public gathering sites. These sacred objects symbolize the tablets of the Ten Commandments and are central to Ethiopian Orthodox worship. Throughout the night, priests and church choirs chant hymns accompanied by drums, bells, and prayers as the tabots rest in specially prepared tents. The atmosphere blends solemn devotion and colorful celebration. The second day marks the main Timkat celebration, during which congregations joyfully escort the tabots back to their respective churches following ceremonial blessings of water. Worshippers from all walks of life participate in the processions, reflecting the festival's unifying role in Ethiopian society. The third and final day, dedicated to Saint Michael, the Archangel, features a similar procession, but it is observed exclusively by churches dedicated to Saint Michael. Foreign visitors attending the Timkat celebration said the festival offers the international community a powerful and authentic portrait of Ethiopia's unity, social solidarity, and deeply rooted religious and cultural values. They described the event as a rare and moving experience that brings together Ethiopia's ancient history, strong faith, and spirit of social harmony in a single vibrant setting. Our reporter, Buzayo Bogala, has more from Addis Ababa on the celebrations.
Hello
viewers, here we are at Jan Meda, Addis Ababa, the place where the Timkat celebration takes place. Today is the main Timkat festivity day. Here now at this place there is a water blessing ceremony. Many worshippers renew the baptismal vow by the priest sprinkling holy water, and many people immersing their salves with the holy water and feel blessed, feel renewed. Timkat is not celebrated for the purpose of religion. It has also a strong social integration. Young boys choose their beautiful young ladies and propose her for a marriage by throwing on her a fresh lemon. I'll be back soon with the tourists' impression. What tourists say about this colorful and beautiful celebration. Stay tuned and watch Pulse of Africa.
I come from Germany, Matthias Franke. Many times in Ethiopia, and I love Ethiopian since my childhood. And now it's a big, big day for me to celebrate Timkat with a lot of people. I can't imagine. It's such a blessed day for me. Also, the last days, I was so touched. I see it's changing, a lot of changing, and the people come up, and it's wonderful to see it. I like the people. I like the traditions. We visit Unity Park, And I see you have a big tradition, and you bring together. I think it's a good way to see it, and I'm very enjoyed about this.
I'm Dave, I'm from Switzerland, and I'm doing like a 4-month trip through East Africa, so Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania, and I'm started here now 3 days ago in Addis Ababa. I was really surprised about this festival, and I love it because people are so lovely, and all of the people are so happy, and that's really a nice feeling, yeah. People are nice, so people are really curious about other people, and also I think the people are really helpful here. So if you have questions, they come and they talk to you. And I also like the nature here. It's so lovely.
My name is Aurora. I am Italian. It is my first time, but I have been wanting to come to Ethiopia since a very long time, so I'm very happy to be here now. I wanted to do a tour of the country, and I wanted to see the Team Cut celebration because I've read and see many pictures, and I've read many things about it. I know it's a UNESCO protected celebration, so I wanted to see with my eyes. And after today, I will go in the north of Ethiopia because I want to see the landscape. I saw picture and I saw it's amazing. I would like to visit Lalibela and the churches to know more about your culture. I went yesterday to visit the museum. I saw Lucy and so many things that you have uncovered in the course of the year. And so it's all very interesting to me.
The African Union Commission has welcomed Algeria's successful launch of the ALSAT 3A Earth observation satellite, calling it a significant step forward for Africa's growing geospatial and space technology capabilities. The AU said the launch highlights Algeria's expanding role in the continental space and science landscape and reflects sustained investment in the satellite technology for development-focused applications. ALSAT 3A is expected to enhance access to high-resolution data supporting environmental monitoring, disaster preparedness, land use planning, and evidence-based policymaking across Africa. Developed under Algeria's National Space Program, the satellite strengthens the country's existing Atlas constellation, which has already contributed to agriculture, water management, and urban planning initiatives. The AU noted that the mission aligns with Agenda 2063 and the Africa Space Policy and Strategy, describing the satellite as a shared continental gain as demand for reliable geospatial data continues to rise. In Ethiopia, more homes and businesses now have access to electricity. Access to power supports education, healthcare, and local businesses. Light changes lives. The Economic Community of West African States Commission has held discussions with a delegation from the United Kingdom of Netherlands aimed at strengthening cooperation on peace, security, and regional integration in West Africa. The meeting, held in Abuja through ECOWAS's Department of Political Affairs, Peace and Security, was led by the Netherlands Special Envoy for the Sahel and Head of Division for West Africa, Robert Zimmerman. The engagement focused on deepening peace-building collaboration and reinforcing strategic partnerships to support stability in the region. In his remarks, Mr. Zimmerman outlined 3 key areas of cooperation: security and stability, migration and economic cooperation, and trade. He reaffirmed the Netherlands' support for cross-border cooperation and expressed interest in discussions on the future of ECOWAS, particularly in relation to the Alliance of Sahel States. Speaking on behalf of the ECOWAS Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, Mr. Bakaye Coulibaly, head of the civilian component at the Directorate of Peacekeeping and Regional Security, called for stronger collaboration with the Netherlands. He emphasized the priorities, including revitalizing regional integration efforts, intensifying the fight against terrorism, and activating the ECOWAS standby force. Mr. Coulibaly also briefed the delegation on key PAPS programs, including ongoing engagement with the AES leaders and ECOWAS's commitment to ensuring that the withdrawal of the Sahelian states from the bloc does not negatively affect their citizens. According to a statement distributed by APO Group on behalf of ECOWAS, the talks were attended by Deputy Head of Mission of the Netherlands Embassy in Nigeria, Mr. Ronald Sonomas, and First Secretary of Security and ECOWAS Relations, Ms. Denke Tarore Vrokoj. The African Development Bank has successfully priced a $1 billion 10-year global benchmark bond due January 2036, marking its first US dollar benchmark issuance of the year. The bond carries a re-offer yield of 4.3% and a spread of 7.8 base points over US Treasuries. The transaction attracted exceptional investor interest, generating a record order book of $6.4 billion, the largest ever for the single tranche AfDB issuance. Strong demand allowed the bank to tighten pricing by 4 base points from initial guidance, achieving terms tighter than its inaugural 10-year US dollar benchmark issued in June 2025. Investor participation was broad-based with strong support from central banks and official institutions, which accounted for 51% of allocations. Asset managers took 23.2%, banks 20.9%, and other investors 4.9%, reflecting a high quality and diversified investor base. Geographically, the issuance drew more than 109 orders globally, with 37 investors receiving allocations. Demand built rapidly following the announcement, enabling multiple pricing tightening as the order book expanded beyond $6 billion. The successful deal underscores AfDB's strong standing in global capital markets and its continued ability to secure efficient funding amid evolving interest rate conditions, further strengthening its capacity to support development financing across Africa. Tripoli, January 19, 2026, Libya's central bank has announced a 14.7% devaluation of the national currency, setting the exchange rate at 6.4 dinars per US dollar. This marks the second currency adjustment in less than a year, following a 13.3% devaluation in April 2025. The Central Bank of Libya attributed the latest devaluation to ongoing political divisions, declining oil revenues from lower global prices, and persistent economic challenges, including the absence of a unified state budget and rising public spending. Libya has faced prolonged instability since the 2011 NATO-backed uprising, which led to a split in 2014 between Eastern and Western administrations. The country's economy remains heavily dependent on oil, making it vulnerable to fluctuations in production and international market prices. Analysts say the devaluation aims to reflect the currency's true market value and addresses fiscal pressures, but it may increase inflationary pressures for Libyans and further strain household income. The South African rand weakened on Monday as global risk appetite declined amid geopolitical tension and ahead of domestic inflation data due later this week, which investors will watch for clues on the central bank's potential rate-cutting path. At 0755 GMT, the rand traded at 16.85% against the US dollar, down roughly 0.5% from its previous close. ETM Analytics noted that risk sentiment may be constrained following U.S. President Donald Trump's threat of new trade tariffs on European allies until Greenland is allowed to be purchased by the United States. For the ZAR, this will leave the local unit on the defensive, the research note stated, adding that sentiment may continue to weigh on the currency depending on US-EU negotiations. Like other risk-sensitive currencies, the rand is influenced by global developments, particularly US policy. Locally, traders will focus on Wednesday's consumer inflation report, which is pivotal for monetary policy decisions and broader financial market implications. Consensus estimates project a marginal increase to 3.6%, though analysts caution that downside risks remain high. On the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, the top 40 index slipped 0.2% in the early trade, reflecting cautious investor sentiment. Meanwhile, South Africa's benchmark 2035 government bond saw its yield rise by 9.5 base points to 8.44%, indicating weaker bond demand. Market observers say the rand recent gains may have been overestimated and the volatility could persist as both global and domestic factors continue to influence South Africa's financial markets. Moving to sports, Morocco's Yassine Bounou has been named goalkeeper of the tournament at the Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations 2025, earning the prestigious Golden Glove after an outstanding campaign with the host nation, the Atlas Lions. The reigning CAF goalkeeper of the year was instrumental throughout the tournament, keeping 5 clean sheets in 7 matches, the joint's highest tally alongside Senegal's Edouard Mendy. Morocco conceded just 2 goals on their journey to the final, highlighting Benou's consistency and authority between the posts. Bounou delivered several decisive performances, producing crucial saves in key moments, particularly during the knockout stages. His commanding display in the semi-final proved vital as Morocco booked their place in the final. Despite Morocco's narrow 1-0 extra time defeat to Senegal in the final, Benou's individual brilliance stood out, earning him top recognition from the Confederation of African Football. The Golden Glove Award further cements Bounou's status as one of Africa's finest goalkeepers and crowns a remarkable individual, showing at the Total Energies CAF AFCON Morocco 2025. That's all for this hour. Thank you for tuning in and goodbye.